Hey guys, welcome to today's video post. Today I want to talk about how symptoms are very similar to the oil light in your car and why it's really important that you do not ignore your symptoms. Let's say you're driving down the road and you see your oil light come on in your car. What's the first thing that you do? Well, what the first thing you should do, and what most people do, is they go and they check their oil, see if it's low, see if there's something wrong with the pump, see what's going on and why the oil light is on. Well, that oil light is just like a symptom in your body. And the way that your body works, symptoms are almost always the last thing to appear when there's a problem. If you took a bundle, like a nerve fiber, and this was your nerve fiber, and if you could imagine this being kind of like a cable, like what your TV comes through, inside this nerve bundle, there's a bunch of nerves inside of it, thousands and thousands and millions of nerve fibers running through there. Now, these nerve bundles are organized into groups. You've got your outer layers, which are your function, your motor nerves, different things like that. Then you've got the inside of the nerve, which is actually where your sensory nerve sits. Your sensory nerves only make up about 10 to 15% of your body. Well, what does that mean? That means that for there to be pressure, enough pressure or enough of a problem for the nerve running through the sensory part of that fiber to actually be irritated, means that there's been a long-standing problem that's gone through and actually affected a lot of your function or a lot of your motor nerves. In other words, let's say that you have neck pain. And it started because you turn your head to back out of the driveway and boom, all of a sudden your neck started hurting. Well, yeah, your neck hurts, but does that mean that that was the beginning of your problem when you turned your head to back out of the driveway? Well, probably not. That one motion was probably the final straw that broke the camel's back, for example, or as they say. What probably has happened is over time, you've had these subluxations in your spine, which is where the bone is out of place putting pressure on a nerve. And over time, you've, maybe felt a little stiffness in your neck, or maybe you've noticed that you can't turn your neck the way you used to be able to, or maybe you've noticed that you've had slight little headaches. Nothing major, no major symptoms that really got your attention, but little things that just weren't functioning the way that they should have been. Well, that's kind of like where you are with your car. Your car, it's low on oil, so it doesn't quite function the way that it should. Maybe it runs a little bit hotter than it should because the oil is not there to lubricate the way it should. Then you finally get that oil light to come on to say, hey, look, man, there's a problem. You got to fix this. You got to get this oil light fixed. Well, that's the way your body is. You have these functions. They're just not there, or they're not functioning properly. And then all of a sudden you do something and you get this intense pain. So what's the solution? Well, let's take the pain as the symptom and the oil light as the symptom. What do? Do you cover it up? Okay, so let's say you cover it up. So you take a piece of black tape, you cover up the oil light on your dashboard, and hey, problem gone. You don't see your oil light anymore, right? Just keep on driving your car, going about life as life should be, and everything's grand. Well, that's very similar to taking an over-the-counter medication, some anti-inflammatories, some Tylenol, some BC headache powder, some Excedrin, aspirin, whatever it is that you take to cover up your pain. It's just like taking a piece of tape and putting it over that oil light. You're covering up your pain. And then you go about your day like you normally would. Hey, life is great, I feel great, everything's fine. Well, what ends up happening with your car when that oil light is covered up? Eventually, your engine's going to blow. I don't know a whole lot about cars, but you're going to blow a head gasket, you're going to have to replace your engine, your oil, everything is all screwed up. And it ends up costing you thousands and thousands of dollars, whereas all you would have had to do was go and put some oil in the tank, or get your oil pump fixed, or whatever was wrong with it to make that oil light come on. Well, it's the same thing with your body. If you ignore your symptoms, if you are covering it up with Tylenol, over-the-counter pain medications, non-steroidal inflammatories, you're going to keep on wearing it out. You're going to keep on causing little micro traumas to that area, and it's going to end up causing a major problem eventually. For example, you turn your neck, you blow a disc, or you bend over to pick up a pencil, or to play tug of war with a chihuahua, like was my case, and you blow a disc. Something happens and you end up hurting yourself pretty severely with a very small activity. And what ends up happening with that with people is they end up getting hurt, so it ends up costing them more money when they come in to see me, because instead of a one visit fix, it's a 10-15 visit fix, because we have to get the inflammation under control, get the damaged tissue repaired, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and unfortunately a lot of money. But not only is it the cost of me, What about the cost of missed work? What about the cost of downtime with your family? What about the cost of, if heaven forbid you end up having to go through surgery and pain management, degeneration starts to set in, so you start having all these chronic problems? What about the cost in general of your life? If you take these anti-inflammatories and these over-the-counter medications to manage your pain, yes, it seems like it's cheaper in the short run, taking a pill versus coming in for an adjustment. But in the long run, the long-term damage is not worth it. So what's the point of this? Well, the point is, number one, if you're having symptoms, any kind of symptoms, get in to see us. We got to get this thing fixed because we got to get you feeling better. Because the symptom is the body telling you there's something wrong. It's been wrong for a while and it really needs to be fixed. Number two, even if you're not having symptoms, it's a good idea to change your oil. It's a good idea to make sure your oil is full. Check it, every once in a while. Get the oil changed every 3 months. Do what you need to do to maintain your car. And people do that with their cars, but they neglect their bodies. It's very important that you get your spine checked on a regular basis. Call me. We'll get together. We'll figure out what kind of a time frame it is that's ideal for your body. And we've got the technology to do that, to be able to figure out, hey, can you go for 3 months without an adjustment? Do you need to come in once a month? Do you need to come in once a week? Do you need to come in once every 6 months? We have the technology to measure that and see when it is that you need to come in to ensure that you're giving yourself the best chance for health, the best chance of avoiding a long-term injury, and the best chance of being pain-free and at the highest energy level possible. So give me a call. I'd be glad to sit down with you. I'd run a free scan on you. It's called a surface EMG evaluation, and we can actually use that scan to measure the function of the nerves. Even if you're feeling great, we can measure the function of your nerve. I'll give you an example. I had a patient came in just last week. We did the scan on her, found out that she had some severe imbalances even though she was feeling great. I hadn't seen her in a couple months. I adjusted her. She came back this week and we re-scanned her. And most of those things had cleared out. She still had a couple, so we did another adjustment. Now she's going to come back in 2 weeks because I think that she'll be able to hold it for at least that time frame. But we're going to be able to customize her treatment plan specifically to her to help her maintain her health at a high optimal level without the risk of these severe injuries. So anyway, I hope this information is helpful. And as always, this is one of the ways that you can take control of your health before your health takes control of you. So please, 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 as always, our wish for you is that you take control of your health before your health takes control of you. And, myself, Kelly, and all of the massage therapists that we have here in the clinic, we're all here because we've all got your back. So give us a call, 862-2224, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.